Welcome to the Fandom Foundries show about the best things this week. I'm Todd Oxtra, and I'm joined by a Canadian, not the Canadian. He is from Halifax. He is doing his best to make Canada become a modern gaming center of North America. He has survived all of the Atlantic time zones fun, and he is also a veteran of the Waiver Wire Wizards podcast. That's Mr. Eric Bezanson. Oh God, I probably killed it again. Bezanson. There we go.
Yes.
I'm getting it right. Yeah, GamePositive. Yes, Eric. It's good to have you on Best Things This Week, man. First time's a charm, and I'm excited to hear about what's going on in Canada, what you're excited about in the world of things. So welcome to the show. Before we get started, though, tell people your geek origin, how you became the Canadian geek that you are now.
Yeah, I should have thought about this beforehand. I would say, I think I talked about this at some point before somewhere anyway. I think when I was like a kid, like super young, like I don't know, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in that range. I always had video games. Like I think I started with NES, SNES, but they were kind of just like one of the toys on the shelf. Like it was like the Super Nintendo was like just as cool as like the Batman animated series Batmobile with like the Batwing that comes out of it, or like my I don't know, like 7-inch tall Commander Chip Hazard from Small Soldiers action figure. Like it was all kind of that. And I was really into like Spider-Man, Batman, the cartoons, those from the 90s. Like those are goated, and X-Men too. But then one rainy day, my friend lent me his copy of Metal Gear Solid for PS1. And that's when like a light switch kind of flicked. I probably would have been approaching 10. And that's kind of where gaming became like the main hobby, I would say. And that's where I became more and more nerdy. I grew up playing sports. I still play sports to a certain extent now, but gaming since then has always kind of been number one. Like, yeah, I don't play with toys anymore, unfortunately. I just put them on my shelf.
That's right. We collect them. We don't touch them or interact with them or even unbox them sometimes, depending on how deep you go with your nerddom. So Eric, I believe you're a millennial, correct?
That's true.
Proper. Okay. I am
the best era.
Yes. Where you had everything at your fingertips. You were in kind of like the more digital era. I was an analog kid, turning the dial on my TV, arranging my antenna to get what I could get.
Well, the cool thing about millennials, and the reason why I think it is the best,
one foot in both,
with whatever bias you want to get put on me, is that we have both. I grew up like that. I had an antenna on my TV. I was plugging like 6 CD changer boombox speakers into my VCR to get audio out, to get better sound in Halo CE on a tube TV, like an RCA. Like I was there. And
how do you get 480p versus 480i, right? That, like where's those like composite or RF, whatever, to then like, oh, you go through your VCR to get really cool sound to play Super Mario 64. I remember working in college, and people were just like, oh, you don't use the whole thing to plug in. Like, nope, there's stereo now in our systems. They have stereo, and they have ways of connecting to these RCA ports. It's amazing.
Yeah. My dad was always kind of like, he's a musician, and he's like as a hobby, and he was super into like AV stuff. So like, I remember when I was trying to pitch to him why I should get an Xbox, like the thing that I ended up getting out. There's a whole story into how this ended up happening. But when
we're going to have you on a future episode of Why We Play, where we're going to talk about your gaming history.
Yeah.
Which will be really fun because we get into a lot of things there. But with that, obviously, I know you're kind of bummed because you're like, hey, Todd, all of the showings of the Odyssey are sold out, but we have an awesome theater seat in. So I know we won't be able to talk about that, but I know you're really
something crazy I just found out. I'm going to try to pull the stats up.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter, I guess, in America. But so long story short, our theater, we have one IMAX. It's the big theater.
Yeah, let's
Nova
get into it
Scotia.
now. I when you mentioned that, I'm like, this is kind of cool. So let me share this thing, but tell the story about how you guys got this, awesome, edition of IMAX.
Yeah, so like when IMAX first came out, like first was a thing, and like I think it was like the well, at least for us, it was like late 90s, early aughts, whatever. There wasn't like that much of a standard. Like it was kind of like you want the branding at the big screen or whatever, but it didn't really get nailed down into a standard. Oh, you had the article here until somewhat recently, where they started to switch between digital and 70 millimeter, and we had 70 millimeter originally,
which is a big part. Get the screen. That's amazing.
Yes. So the fun fact I was going to bring up is we have the second largest IMAX screen in Canada. The first place one is 0.2% larger. It's like,
is that over in like Vancouver, or is that like Toronto?
It's in Vaughan, which is I think Ontario. Theirs is 21.79 times 16.09. Ours is 16.09, and theirs is 16.12. So it's like point. Like
is it the
0.3
size, or is it the aspect ratio? Because 70 millimeters like that taller, but it's not that. It's an interesting presentation. A lot of people are like not aware
of. It's 21.79 meters by 16.09 meters. And the one that's slightly bigger is 0.03 meters taller. And ours is the second biggest in Canada. It's probably bigger than a lot of them, honestly, in America. But what's interesting is they switched to digital like in 2011, because there wasn't really a lot of 70 millimeter IMAX films. Like Christopher Nolan
those reels are crazy to find.
Yes. And so it's way cheaper. You don't need a projectionist. It's just, I don't even think you need a human. It's like scheduled with like, it sucks. But Christopher Nolan actually was like, we need to make this happen. Like, I'm partnering with Cineplex, which is our theater chain here, and I'm going to like invest to make sure that we have more 70 millimeter screens. And because the screen size never changed. It was the same screen from when they first installed it, but ours was one of the only ones that could. And since he wanted as many 70 millimeter showings as possible, he actually like contributed to the costs to get this to happen in Halifax, which is like crazy.
That's amazing. I mean, and this is like, if you go to the Odyssey website, it's kind of neat. It shows you like every way you can see this film. And so IMAX 70 millimeter is considered kind of like the Cadillac. That is the one you want to see. It's amazing. Nolan is, he loves IMAX. I remember seeing The Dark Knight, and those scenes that were in IMAX were just incredible. And we saw it at the Minnesota Zoo had a IMAX screen, which was the best screen in the country, or in Minnesota, but they stopped showing films there for some reason. I'm not sure why, but amazing. But then they have the regular IMAX, which I saw it in, and then you have just standard 70 millimeter, then you have 35, and then Dolby, and then large format. So you can kind of see the aspect ratio is a little different. It's like 1.43 by 1, 1.90 by 1, 2.20. And it's like, for a lot of people, like, what does that even mean? Well, do you remember when Zack Snyder did the one cut of the Justice League where it was like the tall version?
Yeah.
It's like, the format you have matters, because the old TV, like we talked about, Eric, it was 4:3. It was cutting things off, and then you had pan and scan, which was kind of more of it was kind of considered like more of the theatrical, but it was still cut out. You had all those bars to put it on your square TV. Not great.
I remember when DVDs first came out, and like you had AV nerds like me that were like, yes, it's in widescreen. Then you had like normies. They're like, why would you cut off the image? It's like you're seeing less. The image is cut off. I'm like, no, dude, you're seeing way more. And you flip the full screen and show them how zoomed in it is and how much is cut off. And I'm like, oh, that's so much better.
You're just not filling the screen. Not. Yeah, you're not filling the screen. It's like when like a lot of TVs, even like they'll ask you what you want to see it in, like fill it widescreen. Like, yeah, always go for the most picture, not for the most, full screen. Like, I want that. Like, we even have ScreenX here. And is that something that you've seen ever?
We have it, but it's really bad. I don't think it's implemented properly, because like for ours, like the walls to the left and right, of the screen are like a gray color, not white. So it's like
because they aren't using a screen; they're just using the sides of the theater, which sucks.
So it's like dark on the sides, and then it's not good at all. I think if the room was built for it, it would be awesome. But then you also have like in the weeds, most IMAX movies, every single one except for the Odyssey, not every frame is in IMAX, but every frame is stretched so you don't really know. But with ScreenX, not every scene is ScreenX.
Correct.
And when it's not, it's very obvious because the left and right is just like nothing. So it's kind of distracting too when it keeps flipping between like these huge like widescreen shots with basically 3 theater screens, and then it goes to 1 and then back again. It's weird.
I saw the last Predator film in it, and I saw the Fantastic Four in it, just because it was an option to see it, and I'm like, it's the same price as whatever. So they always say like not every scene, only the scenes that only the most immersive or something like that. And some films are, I mean, they're filmed for it, but you like. So it's kind of neat. Sometimes it works well. Sometimes it's just like, no, it looks worse. It's far darker. It doesn't have the ability. I mean, so if they actually wanted to improve it, they would add screens to the side, but basically you've got projectors on each side. And I think it's one of those things like, it's just like, I guess I'd take that over 4DX maybe. I heard there's a version of like the Odyssey in 4DX, which 4DX is just like your seat is moving. There's like water, mist, and everything. I'm like, I could not do that for 3 hours.
So I've never done 4DX. We don't have that, but we do have like D-Box, which is the moving seats.
That's similar, right? But it's moving seats. But the 4DX is like it's adding like wind and mist.
One thing that's super interesting that I only know because I worked at the theater, and I won't have to dig into it, but I have a really awesome Dark Knight story as well. But IMAX is completely third party. They're a totally different company.
I've heard they're actually looking to sell off too. Like they're looking to sell.
I don't know about that, but just in how it works is the movie distributors like Warner Brothers makes a deal with IMAX, and they say, I want this many weeks of the Odyssey. I want these show times. And then IMAX goes to the theater. Like, this is what you have to do. And every ticket you sell, the distributor gets some and we get some. And then whatever you can have the remainder. And it's so the theater chains are like
a third more expensive, like 30% more expensive for IMAX.
Well, the tickets are more expensive.
Yes.
But the cut is way lower for the theater. So the theaters are coming up with these other gimmicks like ScreenX and 4DX and D-Box because they don't like the fact. It's kind of like the disc to digital, which I'm not opening that can of worms up yet, but the theaters want to have all of the money from the ticket sale, at least all of this cut they would get outside of what Hollywood would take. And so they don't actually really love IMAX, even though it's a huge draw for them and there's still concessions and whatnot. But if I buy say the ticket's $20 for D-Box or 4DX, like magic numbers, but the theater gets 10 and the distributor gets 10. With IMAX, the theater gets 5, the IMAX gets 5, and the distributor gets 10. Dang. So it's lower margin. And that's why things like what's happening right now are going to happen. It might be different for you, but for us, Spider-Man's not in IMAX because the Odyssey has 4 weeks exclusive.
And that's true. Yeah.
In December,
comes in the 31st. Yeah.
In December, Dune 3 has IMAX exclusivity for 2 weeks, and they come on the same day as Avengers. So Avengers also not going to be in IMAX, which is crazy.
I did see though that they were highlighting that Spider-Man is having scenes done for ScreenX, so it's you can kind of see where they're playing their bets to get that. And I totally get it. And not everybody films in real IMAX, Limax. Eric, we could talk all about that fun stuff. And I remember where these that used to be able to find the resources.
3D movies. I love that.
Oh yeah, and then 3D versus conversion. Long story, but seeing a movie in a great theater is amazing. So, I'm excited that you get to. Have you purchased your tickets like for a future showing?
I haven't purchased yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm probably gonna go in like August. One thing that kind of sucks with IMAX. Is it
gonna be out in August by then in IMAX?
Oh, I think you can buy tickets up for IMAX until August 12th or something like that.
That's crazy. That's amazing. I mean, yeah.
But I can usually only go to the late show, and the late shows end on Tuesday because there's a literal projectionist up there working until 1 a.m. every day, and they don't want them to do that. So I have to figure something out. I still don't know. I'm going to make it happen. I don't know when.
Can you be the projectionist and say, I'll be the projectionist and sit in the booth so I can see it?
I have stitched a movie together once. It was not IMAX. There's no way I'm touching that. But and it was just like a thing that I got to do because I worked there. I wasn't allowed to. I wasn't supposed to. I never actually technically said this out loud for what it's worth. But
okay. I don't think they can.
It's so I can't even believe it. The thing that does suck though is the longer you wait to see it, and this is a pro tip for everybody, technically the worse it's going to look, because unless the projector is in like a surgery room, like dust and hair and different particles gets on the film and you see it on the screen. So the longer you wait to see it, the worse it's actually going to look. But I mean, it's obviously still going to be amazing. 70 millimeter.
But same thing as 3D. Like I remember like James Cameron was so pissed off at people. It's like, you're showing it wrong. It's not bright enough. It's not this. And it's like, I totally get that. Yeah. Because I mean, that's where projectionists matter versus like now you got a kid who probably is making minimum wage, like, oh, push play. Walk away. It's like they don't even know if like the film is showing. I remember there was a couple like the sound's not working. Can anybody fix that for us? So I love the theater though. I know it's not common for everybody. Not everybody can do it, but you know what? Hey,
it's the best.
I'm glad
it's really the best.
Oh, I love to pieces. My theater chain has like this thing where you basically spend $10 a month. You get one free ticket a month, but you also then get a discount for everybody else. And
we have that too.
And we get to like have you had like the mystery movie experience now where like they will have like once a week, they'll have a mystery movie. You don't know what it is. And with my membership, I get to go to one for free for a month, but it's like $6 and you show up and you don't know what it's going to be. So sometimes they'll tell you though, it's like, they don't want people to go see a horror film. Like I hate horror films. They'll tell you in advance, like it's not a horror film or it's this, or it might be R-rated. So, but it's, I want to do one of those cause I just want to be like surprised. Like it's, it's kind of a nice surprise. So, well, very cool. Eric, I'm so excited for you to see The Odyssey. I will talk a little bit more of my experience very soon. But I wanted to talk about my news story of the week. It's near and dear to your heart. There's been a lot of, and I want to focus more on the positive of this story. I don't want to focus on the negative of video games right now. It feels like you can't say anything without like somebody getting mad. So I want to focus on the fact that we are getting new games coming from Fallout. And we're like, it's like so many games. I'm going to share the screen. This is from TechSpot. And it's basically talking about the fact that they have announced it. Even Todd Howard was talking with Jason Schreier, finally ended the, I guess, the black listing of him. And he talked to Todd about like what they're going to do. And so we have Fallout 5 being developed now. I believe it's in development. We have Fallout 3 in New Vegas getting remasters, and there's a new Obsidian Fallout game. So, and all of these things are things that people wanted. And the sad part is it just taken apparently some bad news for finally for Xbox to be pushed in this direction and say, let's do this. So it's kind of sad it's taken so long considering Fallout got so much energy behind it. They do have a Fallout 76, and we're getting a prequel to Fallout 3 in Fallout 76, I believe, which is kind of cool. That's a game I wanted to get back into, but I just haven't. There's just too much. So with all of this news, it sounds like, once Elder Scrolls 6 is now, Eric, maybe you can clarify this to me. Elder Scrolls 6 is still a couple years away, but are they dividing and conquering to start Fallout 5 with a smaller team within Bethesda? I'm just a little unclear of like how this is actually happening, because typically Todd Howard is like, it's all us, and then we'll move on to the next one. So what's your take on all this?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not at Bethesda. I definitely don't know like the ins and outs of what's going on, but there's different aspects of game development, like different like things that you have to do when you're making a game that don't necessarily take place like asynchronously. So like there's different things that you'll do in pre-production that the people that do that for specific role, like maybe like concept artists or something like that, like they're not really heavily involved in the development process once a game gets to a certain part. So there's certain aspects, certain ways that could work on Fallout 5 in parallel to the work with Elder Scrolls, but Elder Scrolls is going to be like the lion's share of the work. That's how like they were able to go from Oblivion to Fallout 3 and then from Skyrim to Fallout 4. Like the follow through time on those two were not that bad. I mean, games are more complicated now, but the team size is also higher now. There's more support because they have Microsoft. So just because Elder Scrolls may come out in 27 or 28 doesn't mean that Fallout necessarily is going to be whatever that day is. You add 6 years to it or 5 years to it. That's not necessarily the case. Especially because you have somebody like Asha in charge who is laser focused on getting the hits out, like focusing on what works and what everybody wants instead of, I don't know. It feels like there's like more of a stern, a tighter grip, let's just say, on the studios. Not that I know anything like firsthand, but that's just the vibes that I'm getting. So I think you could see these turn around relatively quickly. As far as what I'm hearing about what Bethesda's working on and what Obsidian's working on, the rumors at least right now is that Obsidian's game will be like kind of like a Fallout City. And it will be kind of like New Vegas.
Like New Vegas. Yeah. Versus like a sequel to that, maybe a different region or something like that.
Yeah. The rumor is New Orleans, which would be really cool. Be awesome, honestly, if they could maybe like pinch some of the.
They've been primarily what? Like, so like we've got the East Coast with like Boston, that area. Then we have New Vegas. Where are the other areas? Is it Northwest too?
3 was in Washington. I think the DLC was in Boston.
Okay.
New Vegas was obviously in New Vegas, but also in California, I think a little bit. From what I'm hearing, and this is not like I'm not an insider, but from what I'm reading, Bethesda's game will be in San Francisco, and yeah, Obsidian's games could be in New Orleans, subject to change without notice. But if it was in New Orleans, I think it would be awesome if they could maybe on Compulsion's way out, maybe like take some of that research they did into Southern folklore and things like that, and add aspects of that to their game, which would be really cool. But yeah, I think this is awesome. I think Fallout's huge. And one thing that I never really thought about until I was randomly watching somebody trying to like talk about how much they love the Steam Deck or the Steam machine, because they're coming from a PlayStation, and they're like, you can't play Fallout New Vegas on a PlayStation. I was like, oh yeah, you really can if you have a PS4 or PS.
Oh, because it was trapped on the PS3.
Yeah, because I'm like,
they never made a version, kind of like those Call of Duty ports, right? They're coming out.
Exactly. So I'm sitting here like, oh, I have an Xbox, so I've been playing it at 60 FPS, auto HDR, like up. So the remaster's not that crazy to me, although I'll definitely still be playing it. But
you hope though that it doesn't play like a 360 game, right? You hope that they're like, oh wow,
New Vegas is
like the Oblivion, right?
But no, New Vegas on Xbox right now is enhanced. It's got it's got locked 60 FPS.
Oh no, I'm not talking about performance. I'm talking about like those quality of life touches, maybe menus, things like that. Maybe some things like I'm talking about like I don't want to play a 20-year-old game. I want to play a 20-year-old game that feels like a modern game versus
for sure. I think it will definitely be improved. But what I'm trying to get to is there's like 90 whatever million PlayStation players out there who have not had any access to this, any real access, because even on PS3, like it was significantly worse than the Xbox 360 version. So if you've been on
structure was horrible, right? I mean,
exactly. The save, not
the emotion engine. The PS2 was the emotion engine. Cell was PS3. Yeah,
but they had that like memory leak if you're safe out. Like it was awful. So those people have
Skyrim
been waiting,
and I played those on the 360.
Yeah, so there's this huge subset of players in Nintendo. You can lump them on there as well, that they have probably been watching the Fallout show and have not really had a good way to interface with it from a game perspective. So these remasters are going to be huge as well. Hopefully they're far along. I'd like to see them like maybe next year at least. Yeah,
because I'm just like right here, Eric. I was just like showing like kind of like where we've had the Bethesda Studios by Todd Howard. This is Bethesda Studios versus Bethesda GameWorks. I mean, it's weird because ZeniMax is like the corporate, they publish things, but in regards to what they actually make, and if you look at it, like Morrowind, Oblivion, like 4 years. Then we had Fallout, that's 2008. So that must have been like, there was a team that was probably working on Morrowind that then said, hey, start working on Fallout 3, right? I'm assuming. So they could do that.
Yeah, Morrowind's slightly different because that was like a Hail Mary to save the studio. But for Oblivion, there was definitely like Oblivion started and then Fallout started and then Oblivion finished and then Fallout. So that's why there's only a 2-year gap. And that's why it's sort of similar with Fallout 4.
Yeah. And it's just, then you go like Elder Scrolls 5, 2011. And then you're like, oh, wait, there's not one, but there is Fallout 7, or there's Elder Scrolls Online, but a different team. They're, they do that differently. And then we had like Fallout Shelter, Fallout 4 that was on PS4. I think there's a version on Switch now, which is great. And then, then you had like 85 different versions of Skyrim. I mean, it's crazy how many versions there have been on, which is crazy. Although, Eric, I'll tell you, man, my biggest moment in gaming that has made me mad is my Xbox 360 save on Skyrim. I'm like so excited. I'm like, can I like play that in the new version? Nope. Your save doesn't port. I'm like, did they add new content? No, they didn't. They just made it. I was just mad about that era. I was like, really? Yeah. So I'm glad that we're over with that era, right? Like, it's like, oh, your save is just, it's like Control. I hated it when they gave you like the Ultimate Edition. It's like, oh, my save on PS4 was like, really? You didn't,
and you couldn't even upgrade to it. You had to buy the game again.
So I'm playing. If I want to play the DLC, I have to play the PS4 version on my PS5 because I don't want to start it over again. It's so dumb.
Yep.
So then that leads us to, Fallout 76, which has now become really. I mean, it's almost 8 years old now, which is crazy because I remember when that game launched, it was like, oh, it's got some struggles, but they've done some cool things with it, and it's kind of what's been keeping them afloat. In regards to like their primary series. And then, Blades. When did that happen?
That's like a mobile game. It's on Switch as well. There's also an Elder Scrolls card game that's really underrated that unfortunately shut down, but it was in that time frame as well. Elder Scrolls Legends.
Do you remember Skyrim on your Alexa?
I remember the commercial. I never well, actually, you know what? I do have an Alexa. I never set that up. Is it actually real?
It is. You can play. You might still be able to play it. It's so kind of funny. It's like got to be turn based or something. So, and I was talking to somebody about. I had in Destiny. You had the I'm blanking on the name. You're looking
the Ghost.
The Ghost. I had one that was. Do you have the one that was like tied to like a? And I think it's not even supported anymore. It's so dumb, but it looks cool.
Nice. It's on my desk at work. I don't think it's ever been plugged in. I bought it when they were like clearing them out because it was only in America, so I had to buy it on Amazon US, and I
gave it to my son. Yeah, and then he got a Ghost. Like they did Destiny. Did you see the holiday Destiny Ghost where it was like gingerbread? So I got that for my son. It's very fun. It's very cool.
I have it in the game. I didn't know it was in real life.
Yeah, you should buy it. I think it was super cheap. And then Dan was showing me they make a Mega Bloks Ghost as well. So yeah, so things to check out. And then we had Starfield in 2023. So and then for myself, maybe we can kind of make some conjecture. So the team that was on Starfield, I believe they're done now, right? Is all the DLC, everything's done? No more support coming with that game?
There's Starborn content coming. But it's definitely like a small team. The core of Bethesda Game Studios is on Elder Scrolls.
So in Elder Scrolls 6, I've heard rumors maybe 2028 is when that comes out.
I mean, that would be probably my expectation. I would suspect. Well, actually, you don't know with Bethesda. I would suspect to see it next summer, but Bethesda kind of likes to show and then release it really quickly. I
was going to say that I think they don't want to show it because we haven't seen anything except like a title screen, right? We've never seen anything.
Yeah, well, actually, that's not true. They had like a little vignette that they did, and they showed. Do you know who Shirley Curry is?
No.
Skyrim grandma.
Oh yes. Was it because like she's gonna die? We need to show it.
Whoa. She's not gonna die.
No, I heard she retired from gaming, right? No, she retired from gaming though, right?
No one retires from gaming, but they rendered her in the game and they showed her model, and it looked awesome.
That's awesome.
There has been some little glimpses of things like that. Okay. But it's interesting because when they famously showed Fallout 4 at E3 and then released it in the fall. That was a bit different because I wasn't as deeply connected into the discourse back then, but I don't think there was that much known about Fallout 4 beforehand. Whereas this is different because they showed it, announced it like a decade ago.
So away, right? Yeah.
I don't know if they can necessarily wait till summer 2028 and then fall release 2028 if that's the schedule. I think they need to show something. And especially with all the questions looming, is it going to be exclusive? Is it not? I think they need to break
Or will
their
it be a launch title for Helix? All of these things, and will it even be able to play on a Series S? All these things are kind of like up in the air. It's like we don't know. Starfield, obviously didn't play on. That was one of the first non Xbox One games, right? That just did not show up on Xbox One with Starfield, because that became like that is like our big game. It's going to be exclusive. It's going to be on PC, and this is going to be launch of 1,000 ships. And we know kind of like Starfield did well. It just didn't take the world by storm. It didn't become like the next. It's taking everybody's mind. We're seeing all these mods, and there's an arrow in my knee kind of thing. We didn't see a lot of that type of like. But there's a lot more games like Fallout and all those games than they used to be. So it's like you've got Witcher, you've got all these experiences. So there's so much more that I don't know if you can get the zeitgeist except for like GTA now, because everybody else has got like a billion other games. You've got Arc Raiders and cozy games. Eric,
GTA is like a whole other beast. We'll see how it does when it comes out. I suspect it will be awesome. I think it's going to be tough for any game to really be as big as some of these games used to. Like Halo has this problem. When Halo came out, it was the biggest game in the world, but there wasn't like 50 games that were as good as it competing against it at the time. There was like the gap between Halo and the next shooter was like this vast canyon.
What, Medal of Honor maybe on I mean it was like
the competing console didn't even have like a usable online search. Like it wasn't even close. But now
maybe you had
so much.
You had what was that? What was the
SOCOM or what?
No, it was the Insomniac game that was out there too.
I'm talking about Halo X on Xbox.
Originally. On Xbox, maybe you had
Halo 2
did not have much. Yeah, there was not a PlayStation 2 era, except for maybe Hull. No, I was thinking of like Medal of Honor. I think that when Medal of Honor, like that was like the closest thing they had to
on
like
PS2. I think maybe SOCOM. Is that or SOCOM?
Maybe,
but when Halo 2 came out, it was like the Guinness record for like biggest release in entertainment history. Like
it changed first person shooters. Like people could say, hey, I actually can play these games without a mouse and a keyboard. It was huge.
Before Halo 2, there wasn't matchmaking. Like that's a thing that didn't happen.
Xbox Live, Mech Warrior and that. And I remember getting the ID and you came with a little headset.
You have to go through like a server list, and that's what it used to be. But anyway,
even before that, you had to do LAN parties before Halo didn't launch with.
But I wish we still did.
So long history there. But let's do some conjecture then. So it's like, okay, we know we got these games coming. It feels like the low-hanging fruit are Fallout 3 and New Vegas remasters, remixers. I don't know what you call them, because they're going to be like the Oblivion, which feels like that was more than just up-resed and better performance.
Yeah, that's actually might be a problem for them, because the bar is set at Oblivion remastered, and if it's not that, then people might be.
Could it be that team? Like it's what
it could be, but if it's going to be Oblivion remaster, like if that's what they're aiming for, then they're not going to be quickly turned around. That there's a lot more effort that goes.
Have they already been working on it though? I heard like rumors that they've
Fallout 3. I've heard for sure. New Vegas. Okay. I don't know if that's far along.
Okay. Well, the good news is those games came out really well. I think maybe Oblivion was kind of like hey, here's an engine, you can do this. Good thing. So maybe we get like Fallout 3 in 2027 early, and we get New Vegas. I don't know. Would you say fall would be good for that? I don't know when the next season of the show is coming out. And then you get in 2028, maybe you get like one of those Fallout. Maybe you get, I don't know. Is that too early for a Obsidian Fallout game? Do they need 3 years? I think they need 3 years.
I feel like that the plan, and this hasn't been reported or anything, and I don't, again, not an insider, but it wouldn't surprise me if their plan was to do with Fallout kind of like what Nintendo does with Zelda, and make sure there's a Fallout game every year, whether it's a remaster or
it's a Warriors game.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was Fallout 3 remastered next year, like 27. And
Could
then
you do a weird like Fallout thing too? Like here's Fallout Shelter, or maybe a Fallout Tactics game. Even like things like that kind of help, like Halo did. Yeah.
Fallout 76 having a big DLC as well. I think the fact that the prequel to Fallout 3 comes out next year for that is kind of a tell that Fallout 3 Remastered is probably coming as well.
Fallout every year would make sense. And it doesn't like not a core game, but a Fallout centric thing, maybe even just like a first person shooter, just like, or third person shooter, just that's not tied into the RPG elements. That could be like, oh, we're going to do something like that. or maybe
And
an action RPG.
if they're willing to let Obsidian kind of like make an Obsidian style game where it's the scope is kind of closed down, like Avowed and Outer Worlds, obviously they're like great games, but like they're not these gigantic open massive RPGs like Fallout or Elder Scrolls are. They're more condensed, and so the development times are smaller. Because you got like they developed Avowed and Outer Worlds and Grounded simultaneously. So
Yes.
to say that they couldn't make
and they pented it as a side project.
To say that they couldn't, and they did like a remaster to Outer Worlds. Actually, I think that might have been a different team, but either way, to say that they couldn't make a Avowed sized Fallout game in 3 years, considering the entire team's working on it outside of the small team on Grounded. And the fact that they already have the tools, they have everything they need, like they are familiar with the franchise, and they already were building something that was similar to Fallout that they could probably
the director said he was making something that wasn't this, but he obviously was behind Fallout New Vegas. And Eric, I kind of feel like this way. I don't need a Fallout game to be on the Creation Engine to feel like Fallout. I just want it to be solid, and I love what they've done with Avowed and Outer Worlds, and that's an Unreal Engine. So hopefully they have the flexibility to say it doesn't have to be on Creation Engine, because Creation Engine is only a small group of people use that. So it seems like the level of difficulty to get people like up to where it is currently, because but Obsidian, I don't even know if they used it. I mean, assuming they used it for that, but they've been so far away from that engine for so long, it doesn't make sense to say work on that engine, right?
I honestly wouldn't suspect it to be on Creation. Like the dynamic of the original Fallout New Vegas is totally different. It was Bethesda was hiring them to do it. So Bethesda's not going to say, "Oh, we'll add this additional cost to the budget so you could use an engine that we didn't make." Even like it was a very different thing. Now it's Microsoft saying like, "We need a Fallout game. God damn it, fast." And they're like, "We want to use Unreal. Go for it." If Unreal's going to make it get out faster and it's not going to change anything in terms of how it feels or how it plays, I think Halo is actually the campaign evolved is going to be the canary in the coal mine. If that game comes out,
that's Unreal, right?
Yeah, and Halo fans play it and they say, okay, this feels like Halo, then you can use Unreal for anything, because Halo is a very particular, especially because it's been around for so long. People have been playing it their whole lives. Like I've been playing it more than I've not been playing.
Halo was on the Slipstream for only an Infinite. It was on, what was it on before then?
Well, Slipstream is like a evolution of the Blam engine.
Okay.
So it's always like, that's why they can't do it anymore, because it's this like like decades of tech debt and like bubble and only gum, like
10 people together. Know how to use it.
So, but if Campaign Evolved can come out from made in Unreal and feel like Halo, then and Oblivion, that was like the logic and like the scripts were all based on the Creation Engine stuff, but the actual base of the game was in Unreal Engine, and it felt like Oblivion. Like it didn't not feel like Creation Engine. So
and Eric, I've seen all of those Unreal Engine Nintendo games, and they look great.
Like Zelda, like Ocarina of Time.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm optimistic this is going to work. I've really loved. I played a lot of Avowed, never finished it. I really love the Outer Worlds. I love that version of it. So I think it's good though to have like, hey, this is what Fallout can look like beyond just that version that, but Bethesda's done. And it's like, hey, it's not like competing against her. It's just this is another way to interact with that world. And I hope that's the way. And it seems like Todd is like, he's just embracing it now. He's not going to fight. He's like, you know what? I get it. I'm going to make my game, but the world of Fallout is for everybody, and just have a good time. And man, I think that's the right way to go, because I've tried Fallout a few times, but some of those idiosyncrasies are just annoying within the Creation Engine, which is just like, you're driving me nuts. Now, why am I being chased for something I don't know what the hell I did? And now I'm the bad guy. And I got bit by a vampire. When did I get bit by a vampire? What the heck? And now I got to. So you know what I mean? It's cool. It's jank. It's fun. But I'm ready for something new. So with that, Eric, though, we're going to get into something that everyone can enjoy, and that is food. So tell me about your best food thing this week.
Yeah, so I don't have anything crazy. Like I didn't go to any restaurants or anything, but I did. My father-in-law is a big hunter, and in Canada, you're allowed to get 2 deers a year if you use a gun and a bow, which he does.
Do you have a limit? Like, do you have to get so in like the US, typically you have to get like a doe license. You can get any bucks you want, but a doe is just kind of, there's more of them. So you have to actually get a doe license, and they limit it. So
I don't think it breaks. I don't think you can actually hunt doe. I don't think you're allowed to.
Okay.
You can only,
that makes sense.
You can only kill bucks, and they have to have a certain amount of points, I think.
Yep.
But I think that the real thing is you're only allowed to get one with a gun and one with a bow. Most people don't do the bow because it's too hard.
Do you have like seasons? Like in the US, it's like, oh, bow season is this time, gun season is this time.
I think
typically around football
there's
season.
two, but I think they do overlap too. I actually don't know. I'm not a hunter at all. I shoot bows like at targets, but I don't.
My dad, I went hunting with my dad a couple of years in high school, and I'm like, not good at this, Dad. I like shooting a gun, but I was, just not the best at it. So I totally get it. But I loved watching my dad dress the deer. We had deer, we cooked up that deer heart at night after my dad got it. So I love that. I'm a gun owner. But yeah, when it comes to it, I'm not a great hunter, and I don't actually enjoy sitting out there waiting for something to come by, and maybe I get it.
Yeah, I'm one of those weird like people that can like just have that disconnect in their brain where it's like I would not like to kill an animal, but I'll eat like 700,000 chicken nuggets, and I know that's
I'll butcher an animal. I'll harvest it. I'll get dissected. But yeah, when watching, I'm like,
I don't want to pull the trigger, even though I'll fish too. I'll fish and they're not making it out of there alive, but it doesn't. Anyways, I know that does. You
can look at that fish's face, Eric, and just say, I'm gonna eat you.
Yeah. But anyways, I did have some really good deer burgers and deer steaks. He brought when we were.
Wait, you don't call it venison? You call it deer?
It's a burger and a steak. Isn't venison like a certain cut or something?
No, venison is just the name of deer meat. It's kind of like rabbit, Hassenpfeffer.
So I had a venison burger and a venison.
Beef is cow. Steak. Pork is that. So I
always thought it was like a certain cut, or like a certain part or a certain way you prepare it. Okay,
when you eat the deer, it becomes venison.
Well, in Canada, it's a deer burger, deer steak, and I had those two things.
Okay,
I find deer steak is not as good as cows. Actually, both burgers and steak are not as good as cows, but these are ones.
There's less fat on a deer, right? So you get more of that taste in the fat.
But they were smoked, and it was cooked really well, and it was really good. It was a nice feast, and I didn't put it on here, but I caught a bunch of straight bass on the island on vacation. They were really big. Nice. The bigger I had one that was so big, dude. It was probably like this, and it just like
was this in a lake or where you fishing?
Oh, the ocean.
Oh, that's right. You are close to a coast.
It's a lake. What the? Who fishes in a lake?
We have 10,000 lakes in Minnesota. We do have the Great Lakes, Eric.
I bet you we have more lakes in Nova Scotia. Well,
probably, but hey.
On our license plate, it says Canada's Ocean Playground because of all the lakes, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, it cleared the water, and like if they get out of the water and start flapping around, it's a lot easier to get the hook out, and he did. And he got away. And he took my bait. But my father-in-law caught a mega one, and when he was like gutting it, there was a freaking lobster inside the fish, like a whole lobster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't eat that obviously, and it was a small lobster, but it was a full
decomposed
halfway. Yeah, it was like it was still red though, like he must have just ate it like that day. But it was a pretty big surprise to see that. But that's the thing, like fish, I find like the longer it's out of the water, the worse it gets. It's like a clock that ticks down. So if you can go out there at 3:00, pull in a couple straight bass, and then have them on the grill or have them in the oven by like 4:00, like it's perfect.
I don't disagree. We have a lot of great fishing in Minnesota. It's a lot of walleye, things like that. But then you go up the Great Lakes, beautiful, just superior, beautiful. But with Halifax, man, I'm just looking at some pictures here. You guys are really in this beautiful space. It makes me think of like, wonderful places by the ocean. Mark is out there in Cape Breton Island, and this seems like just such a cool place. So
this was actually on PEI.
Nice. Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah, search up Cape Wolf PEI. Cape with a or Wolf.
I just looked at your Let's see. Cape Wolf
with an E. Yeah, PEI. Yeah,
right there. Ooh, look at that. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So like that
That's
rock
pretty
formation, that was
Yeah.
by our beach house. Like you could walk to there. Tide comes in, you
That's
can go right in
amazing.
there. Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
Eric, I always say when I talk about this part of Canada, I always say, have you done the tour of My Bloody Valentine? Canada's most famous horror
I can't
film.
remember if that's the northern part of, or the southern part of Nova Scotia.
I'm assuming everybody in that town has talked about that movie. Everybody was in it, like their grandpa
Hey, you know
was in
the
it.
Netflix show Lock and Key?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
That's right beside me.
Oh, really? That
And
is
I will
amazing.
say the
I love
most
it.
famous thing to come out of here is not a horror movie. It's the Trailer Park Boys.
Ah, got it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love those
yeah.
guys.
Is that accurate? Like when we talk about like
Yeah.
Trailer Park Boys and all those like other shows, what is it? What's the other show with the guys that have the fruit stand or the vegetable
Oh, Letterkenny?
stand? Yeah. True.
Yes. True.
Okay.
Trailer Park Boys, if you went to a trailer park here, or
Yep.
like I lived in one when I was a kid,
Mhm.
or if you went out west and went to like where the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs play.
Okay.
Have you seen you probably haven't seen this. Have you seen Shoresy? Like
That's the hockey version of like
Yeah.
that's like the hockey guy.
Yeah.
I've not. Yeah, I've not.
Hot take.
Should I watch Shoresy over
You could just start Shoresy today.
Okay, I'll watch that then.
Watch Letterkenny.
A Letterkenny kind of drives me nuts because I don't like the acting. And I know they're supposed to be acting that way, but yeah.
This is not exactly the same. But flaming hot take. I think and I'm biased, but I think Shoresy's better than Ted Lasso. And they're the same type of show. So if you like Ted Lasso, it's
probably
the
a lot
same
more
thing.
cursing, a lot more yeah.
Oh my God. Instead of soccer, it's hockey, and the actors that they cast are real hockey players. They all have played hockey professionally.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll have to check that out then. Yeah, because after a while, like a Letterkenny, you're like, yeah, I don't like any of the way they act, and it's like, oh, it's just kind of annoying. But maybe it's the thing. I totally get it. For us, it's the Yoopers up in Upper Peninsula in Michigan.
Like from Fargo?
Oh no, it's even more so. Those folks are crazy, man. They get into a pontoon, go crazy. They have a song called there's a group called the Yoopers, and they have a song called The Second Week of Deer Camp, and they talk about they're weirdos. It is parts unknown, Michigan, Eric, Upper Peninsula. There's like nobody there.
Is that where Bacon is right now?
Probably, yeah. On Superior, there's nothing there, man. We used to drive there from Minnesota to Michigan every year, and it is middle of nowhere. You might find like 2 people in a town. There's Christmas Michigan's up there, and it's not what you want. Santa's not going to be up there, guys. Sorry. It's
I
really
wonder what the
beautiful
Canadian side's like.
But man, you feel like if you ran out of gas, you have no phone signal, bad things would happen. So yeah, it's fun. But yeah, good times. Oh well. Yes. So check out venison burgers. I'm assuming they're great when it's that time when you're processing your deer. You never know what you're going to get. You're going to get sausage, some venison, some steaks, things like that. So you want to know a guy who's gone out, got all his deer. So there you go. My dad was a bad hunter, but I was good luck to him. He got a couple deer, got a couple racks out there. So for myself, I made gluten-free fried fish. Eric, I got some gluten-free beer because my wife is gluten sensitive. It's trial and error when you do gluten, like when you get your batter and stuff. But we got some cod. I think I figured it out after a time, but we also don't have like a deep fryer. We just have a pan. But after I got it done, I did sweet potato fries too, battered it. Really good, but not a precise science because it's like rice flour and all this stuff. Yeah, dealing with like people that can't eat gluten, it's tough, man. It's tough.
I love sweet potato fries. They are so much better than regular
My wife
fries.
hates them, but I love them too.
What did you dip them in? Curry mayo?
Oh, this
Chipotle
batter.
mayo?
No, I did a mixture of Kewpie mayo and barbecue sauce.
Nice, dude. I always pay the upcharge to get sweet potato fries. I think they're the best, dude.
Oh, I love them too. It's just harder to do because there's a lot more water content in sweet potato fries. They're harder to do, but when they're good, they're good. I will say this, Eric. Do you have Arby's in Canada?
I think there's one Arby's, and it's it's famous because it's the only one, and like somebody, and it's like it's actually close to where Lock and Key was filmed, and somebody drove their car into it like a few months ago, and it's been decommissioned.
Oh no, that's like
Arby's.
terrorism. That's food terrorism, man.
Yeah, it was like drunk driver or something. Like literally the one Arby's in all of definitely all of Nova Scotia, maybe all of Atlantic Canada, just like smoked it. And now it's gone.
Oh, that's so sad because Arby's is such a part of my youth. They have such a weird menu. It makes no sense. It's just all over the place. Roast beef sandwiches. Now they're doing like Eros. Now they're doing like all these different things. But they do some crazy food. And they do horsey sauce, which is just basically horseradish sauce. And as a kid, my dad would always go to Arby's because he loved a roast beef and cheddar sandwich. He would get a Jamocha shake, which is this weird like coffee shake. And then he would always say, hey, we're getting these fries. And they would be curly fries. They weren't straight fries. They were curly fries. Really, really well seasoned. But I would take horsey sauce and Arby's sauce, which was like a weird ketchup with zing, and mix them together. And that was always my thing to go. So I'm a weirdo, but I loved it to pieces. Arby's. We're all in.
I just found the police report. It was actually last year, July.
I hope they're back now, man.
It's speed and alcohol were said to be involved, and
did they miss the drive-through?
causing heavy damage to both the vehicle and the restaurant street. Yeah, and this is not a big town. This is like I have to drive. I'm like probably 30 minutes outside of Halifax. Okay. I have to drive another 45 minutes away into like the middle of nowhere, and there's just a random Arby's.
Yeah,
and it's literally the only one. It's like the center of the town.
Bizarre.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, that is very hard. Eric, it's like when it comes to food, you always keep us straight on like what we're doing wrong in the U.S. on our food, like the brands, like oh, you don't have this, you don't have all dressed, you don't have this, you don't have the Cadbury.
You should.
What's going on, Americans? Yeah, and then what is it? What is it? Sprees or Skittles or it's like you have some weird like
Smarties,
it's not chocolate. Smarties, yeah. Our Smarties are like sweet, chewy candies, and yours are
chewy. I thought they were like the powdery, crunchy ones.
No. They are. They're basically like little rounds that
like
are
sweet
just
tarts.
Chew them. Yeah, sweet tarts. Yeah, Smarties are sweet tarts.
Yeah, here those are rockets. Here, Smarties are like M&Ms.
The same as M&Ms. Okay.
No, way
those
better
are
than
Cadbury,
M&Ms.
right? Those are Cadbury.
I think it's Nestle.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I will say this. My wife's a big fan of your Canadian cooking shows. So every once in a while, you'll get something neat. There's a chocolate show they do in Canada that my wife loves. It's no longer here. It's really good. So with that, though, I just wanted to touch on the fact that I had some cultural food. My wife is Filipino, and in Minnesota, there's a Filipino festival, and they had this amazing food truck there called Cow Ping, and my son had the sticky rice burrito. It needed a lot more than just the sticky rice and the meat. But I had the bao buns and I had lumpia. Lumpia is great. It's a great egg roll, Filipino egg roll. Amazing. Really great. And then let's see if we can find it here. Oh yeah, bao buns. These amazing, just soft buns with typically pork and different things in them are amazing. So good. I had some great food. My wife and son also had some great food. It was so amazing, all these cool Filipino people. So yeah, there you go. Happy Filipino Day, folks. Had some really good food. So Eric, now we got into what we watched. You want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I wish I could talk about the Odyssey. Unfortunately, that's going to be weeks away. But one of the other movies that I'm extremely excited for is Spider-Man. Spider-Man's awesome. Hopefully, this is going to like kind of give the MCU kind of a defibrillator shock. But to prepare for this, because the trailer shows, I guess, slight spoilers, that the Netflix Marvel universe is going to be more connected to this movie than it was even the last one. And I actually never finished the Netflix stuff. I watched pretty much up to...
What did you watch? Yeah, tell me what you watched with them, because I will tell you, I didn't watch any of the Punishers. I watched one season of Daredevil. I watched The Defenders, and I think I watched all of Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
Okay, so I originally, when it was airing, addicted. Like every single episode, the second it was like a ritual. And I'm pretty confident that my kid was born around then, and then it was harder to watch stuff with my girlfriend, and I kept waiting for a time where we could both with the kids and blah blah blah. Anyways, just fell off shows completely. There's a lot of shows I miss, and I'm starting to watch them more now. But at that point, I got up to Iron Fist, and so now I restarted completely at Daredevil, and I'm watching them in release order. So far I've got Daredevil 1, Daredevil 2, then Luke Cage, or Jessica Jones, then Luke Cage, then Iron Fist. Now I'm on Defenders, and Defenders is like pretty sick, dude. Like,
you like it? Okay.
So I'm not done it yet. I'm like, I think I can see it kind of falling off a cliff, honestly. So like, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about, not super spoilers, but like around episode 3, like the intros are over and the heroes are starting to like naturally like cross each other's paths within the story. And then there's a scene in like a building where they all are having like their first like fight scene together. And at that moment, I was like, oh my God, this is so sick, especially when Luke Cage shows up and the music key hits. It was beautiful, because you just are watching these characters. Like, it's kind of like when they come together in Avengers, it's so awesome because you've seen all the movies. It's even better when it's like you've seen hours and hours of television, like the feeling. I will say, I think it was a horrible decision to have the two big bads in this be two old ladies. Like, I'm sorry,
it's Madame Gao and was just Sigourney Weaver.
It's Ripley, yeah, but it's like, it's so not believable that they're an actual threat. I think that there must have been some sort of thing where Disney's like, don't use any good villains, we want to use them later. So then I'm just like, oh, we'll make something up, and then they went with old lady to partner with another old lady. Like, it's kind of, I don't see how this is going to end in a cool way. It was I mean, I believe, I could be wrong, I believe that this didn't naturally end. I think Disney just killed it and then launched Disney Plus. So I think
it was right on that edge, because this says 9 years ago, which is there a date here? Look for it. 2017. So I believe Disney Plus started in 2019, so maybe they had a couple other things or they just said, hey,
well, after this, they have Punisher season 1, Daredevil 3, Iron Fist 2,
so then
Jessica Jones 3, I think, Luke Cage 2. They have, there's like several more seasons after this. I think it was, those probably are approaching on Defenders 2, and then Disney's like, nah. So they didn't get a shot of redemption, which kind of sucks, but I do like these characters, especially Daredevil. I'm very excited to watch Punisher because he was incredible in Daredevil season 2. And I know, I mean, as far as I know, I should say, Luke Cage, Jessica, and Iron Fist are not in Spider-Man, or at least they're not in the MCU yet. So the characters that may show up, there's some characters that show up in have you watched, because you haven't seen the new Daredevil in Disney Plus, right? No, so I'm gonna get to that. At least my understanding, my rough understanding, is that the primary people that are coming over are going to be Daredevil people. So I really want to make sure I finish the Daredevil series and Punisher before Spider-Man. So I may end up skipping like Iron Fist 2.
I would say skip Iron Fist, because let's put it this way, I don't think Marvel even remembers him.
I don't like him as a character. I absolutely
the setup for that show was like irrelevant. That was like a weird like soap opera rather than like a real show. Like, it's family dynamics fighting over a business.
Yeah, the thing that sucks though is like the guy that plays Ward, I can't remember his name in real life. He is a fantastic actor. He's so good in Banshee and in Ozark.
I like the female Asian lead too. I like her a lot.
Elizabeth. Is it Elizabeth?
It's like Kitty Wong. No, what was her name? Wing. Colleen Wing is her name. She's great too. Yeah, that's the character's name. But yeah, it's like
Hedwig. I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah. So I will say this. I think if you did some like Wikipedia just to see like where you should focus, because you see where things go. But I would invest your time in certain elements rather than more Iron Fist, because I just don't know if he's ever coming back.
Yeah, and I think that he's just so similar, just in the vibe, to Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi is such a stronger character.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
and he is he's in the MCU. I don't know to what extent he's going to be featured, but
he's in Avengers Endgame or Doomsday. They've shown him.
I know he's on the call sheet. I just don't know like if it's
which is a shame that he never got revisited. Even
Johnny Cage was on the call sheet of Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
True.
I knew that as a massive Johnny Cage fan going to see it for the first time.
Yes.
And if you watch that movie, then you know that being on the call sheet doesn't.
Yep. It doesn't always guarantee. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, very good. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, there's a lot of good and there's some that's okay within that. But I think when you move to the new Daredevil season, it's really good. But some of the
it's so hard to not hear what's his name from Expedition 33 every time.
Charlie Cox.
Yeah. It's just like
he's really good with his voice. I mean,
yeah.
And if you saw him in the was it Spider-Man, the third film, he was in that as well.
Yeah, I saw him in there for sure. Yeah.
So very excited. So myself, I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to give much away, but I will say The Odyssey. I saw it. I saw it on Friday at 3 p.m. I saw it on IMAX on the biggest screen in Minnesota. This is a new screen as of 2025. It's amazing. Has reclining seats in IMAX, which isn't always a thing. I appreciated that. And I was squeezed in between people. It was sold out. It was amazing. People actually clapped at the end, which is just always awkward because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to clap because no one can hear it that was performing in it. So it's a little awkward. I appreciate it though. I'm like, yeah, appreciate something you love. This movie, the theater was amazing because the sound was just immense. The screen was huge. Some of those shots were awesome. I will say, it's hard to spoil a poem from 700 BC, but if you've not seen it, I mean, I don't think we're about the plot points. It's how it's told very well. But Eric, something that's very funny is when you see some of these actors that show up, it's like, oh, there's John Bernthal with Spider-Man. And they're going to be in the next film too. So it's a little weird. So sometimes I wish they used a little bit more unknowns, but the actors are amazing. All of these actors are doing God's work. We've even got Batman in there as well.
Yeah. They all take pay cuts for Nolan.
Oh God, so good. And these actors are just, oh my God, amazing. I love the film. It's beautiful. It's riveting. It's intense. And see it in the best way you can see this film is all I can say. 3 hours long. And it was just, there was no fat on that bone. Great storytelling. I liked how they told the story in different pieces. They incorporated the gods, everything there. Polyphemus is the Cyclops. I liked how they did it. It's very cool. And it was amazing. And wow, Matt Damon, it's kind of crazy to see that guy's projection and where he went with himself and what he can do. And man, Anne Hathaway's great. I don't know what else to say. There's one character, they never show his face, but he's a big part of this movie. So I'm not sure actually who played him, but I need to look at it. But I just really love this movie. And by the way, there is no after credits scene, thankfully. But I think there's a song by Radiohead at the end, which was just
Matt
a little
Damon
weird.
Will return into Odyssey.
Exactly. In Odyssey 2, Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, great film. Love to pieces. Christopher Nolan. I will say, Daddy Diwali, he kind of got mad at me because I had not seen a couple of Nolan's films, so I definitely need to rectify that. Tenet I did not see. Did not see Interstellar, and there's I know I need to watch some of those. Oh, Inception, I loved.
Okay, you're good.
Memento, but it just seems
Insomnia?
like there's Insomnia, love that too. Robin Williams. Oh yeah.
Okay, I think you're good. I mean,
well, I do need to see those. I just do. I just feel like it's like Tarantino. I still need to watch Django Unchained. It's
That's
still in
worse.
my what?
Not seeing Django is worse than not seeing all.
I know. It's in my. It's like I get harassed because people actually loan me the movies. Eric, I'm like, I'll watch it, and get distracted by something dumb and stupid. Oh well. But yes, see this film. It's great. I loved it. It reminds me of seeing Oppenheimer in theater. When I saw it, I'm like, wow, what a film. Kind of a little uncomfortable seeing naked people when I look over and there's like a 65-year-old dude in that one scene where they're sitting and they're both nude, talking to each other, but. No nudity in this film. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, nude people in Oppenheimer. Oh, well. And we got our first comment. Nissa's back. Oh, my goodness. Nissa, thank you for joining us. She's listening about Party Dragon Age Inquisition.
I think she's playing Dragon Age Inquisition, but I'm going to assume that she's actually Party Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, or there's an Inquisition with a dragon party.
Party Dragon : Age Inquisition.
And if you ever watched, was it Monty Python? They would say no one ever expects the Spanish Inquisition. So, Dragon Inquisition, man, that's a game series. I think Dragon Age itself, I just feel like those games need to be remastered. I think they're in a rough spot. Did you know that
the first ever Jeff Keighley Game of the Year
was Inquisition?
Yep.
Oh boy,
look it up.
I'll have to. I really enjoyed those games, but they're so different comparative, and some are you can't even play like on PC. There's no like controller support. It's like it's weird. There's some weird things where I feel like those games
get an FPS boost on. Well, you don't even have an Xbox anymore, right?
No, I have a P. Once Eric, once they said all the games are on PC, I'm like, I have a gaming PC. So I'm like, I'm just at the whim of whatever they have. So EA Play has the game, but I believe the version they have there is like
the PC version.
Yeah, which means mouse and keyboard, and it's weird. Okay,
so it is 4K 60 FPS boost on Xbox, but I've never finished a Dragon Age game. I do think the first one was the most interesting. Don at Season Gaming thinks it's the best game of all time.
Okay.
Which
I've heard like the actual like storytelling and like the decision mades are pretty impressive. For me, the gameplay has just been a challenge, and the games have been like kind of I always thought quality issues sometimes.
I thought it was funny how like your character in the first game is just like completely head to toe covered in blood, and then you just go do a side quest where it's like, can you help me find my cat? And you're like, yeah, sure, I'm covered in blood.
Not scary at all.
But
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I always thought that was pretty funny, but never been a huge fan.
Oh, she beat all the dragons. Awesome, Nissa. I appreciate it. The House of Dragons, you'd be an enemy then if you beat all the dragons. Eric, let's move into what we've been playing. So really quickly, I'll just hit on a game I'm playing because I am still playing Lego Batman, ready for Halo to come out. So, but the game I played, I didn't know this existed. So the Google Play Store is now available on Windows. Previously, it was like there was a version within Windows, but now the Google Play Store is just there. So I bought a game for 11 cents, Eric, called Dungeon Clawer. Have you heard of this game? So This game is a lot of fun. So Dungeon Clawer is a lot like claw games where you go to the arcade. And because of that, they made a rogue game where you're basically using a claw machine to pick the things you have to attack. It's very cute. It's very fun. It's on iOS. It's on other devices. But when I saw it, I'm like, this looks like a lot of fun. I like claw games. And essentially, I'm trying to find a video of it that I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. And yeah, it's on mobile. It's on everything else. It's on, I believe it's on PlayStation, Xbox as well. And it's just fun. It's basically low maintenance. But when you do a game on mobile and then do it on PC, it's doing a lot of interesting things, but this is like the opening graphics where this guy is like a gambler and he's a rabbit and essentially loses his hand. So his lucky rabbit foot gets bought. So he gets mad and he decides, I'm going to use my claw, which gets replaced with his hand. And that's how he's going to battle people. So it's like a cool little fun game. Really cool. But you use like the mouse to do that, and with its touch controls or whatever. And yeah, it's basically you've got 3 guys you got to beat, and then whatever comes up in your claw that you get through this. And there's like Plinko, there's other. It's just so fun, and it's just fun. Like you don't know what you're going to get, and there's like the dungeon when you crawl it, you can go to like, oh, this is going to be the machine that gives you health because you're going to run out of health because it is a roguelite. So you're going to have to figure out when you can get that. And then you have runs and it's just so much fun. I love it to pieces. It's a lot. It just very the way they approached a roguelite with a very fun mechanic. I like it a lot. It's on iOS. I think it's free on Google Play or cheap there too. It's on Switch. So if you want just a fun toilet game, Eric, this is the game. So enjoy.
Interesting. It is a kind of a cool concept. I actually really like the intro cinematic. I think that was really well done.
It was very like claymation style, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. So I like that they actually gave that. Oh, he's pissed off because he lost his hand and now became a claw. So Eric, either you saying Black Flag and LOL, like laugh out loud, or League of Legends. So I'm not sure.
League of Legends. Okay. So Well, I'm not going to talk about all of these, but
Yeah.
there have been certain events that have happened in the gaming industry that has changed me myself from being like my attention split between multiple platforms towards me into me just abandoning.
And what are your
certain.
current platforms? So if we'd say gaming, like where are you at? I know you have a Xbox. I know you have a PlayStation. You have a Switch, and you have a gaming PC, or no?
No, yeah, I have a pretty decent gaming PC.
Okay.
I have all the platforms, but I'm not playing anything on PlayStation right now. We're in a friendship timeout. If you can tell, I moved it out of the good shelf and into the bad shelf
even
that
the
gets
back
blocked
corner.
by the door,
Okay.
which is a big step. Now I have the best console of all time right here. And
But Eric, I thought you were the biggest of the Sony ponies.
yeah, that's been a lie that's been propagated by people that don't even play Xbox at all. The people that just play on their computer, they just do tax returns all night. It's really weird on Excel. But because my focus is like locked in on Xbox now, I have just been crushing games. Like I have been. There's so many games that I had that were like close to being complete. I just banged them all out. Like just small stuff. I finally finished Call of Duty Black Ops. I finally finished Cosmic Invasion. I actually just
Call of Duty Black Ops. Which one though? Like 6,
Black
7?
Ops 1.
Oh, the one. Okay.
Yeah. I just beat this evening actually before jumping on. Gargoyles remastered on hard mode.
Oh, Gargoyles! I think I own that on Amazon Prime.
I want to see a video of somebody beating that game on hard without the remastered version lets you like rewind. Like if you get hit or die, you can rewind. If somebody can beat that game on hard without doing that, they're gaming god. That is the hardest game I've played in a long time. It's insane.
I almost bought that like in like their limited run games because I'm like, I love the Gargoyles, I do, but I'm like, I never played that game.
It's really hard, dude. I bought it for like $4 on like an Xbox sale. But what I'm really playing is let's start with the good news. So Black Flag.
Okay.
Black Flag is really freaking good, and I was so like in love with it that just some like behind the scenes at my house during like the bedtime rituals, their mom and the youngest kind of like go together, and I take the oldest, and like she's usually in her room with some wind down time on her iPad, and I can't like come in the basement and leave her up there alone, so I usually just am sitting either in the living room up there in my room, like doom scrolling. I can't really play anything because all my stuff's here. So I brought my 360 upstairs, one of them, and I've been playing Black Flag down here, and then playing the same thing again, resynced on Xbox down here, Xbox Series, and then playing this Black Flag 360 upstairs. So I've been like,
oh boy,
do this sequence, then do this sequence, and like bunny hopping, and that's how much Black Flag I've been playing. So I'm like maybe like 5 hours into resynced and 5 hours into 360. Huge leap in terms of
what do you think? I mean, I know some people are poo-pooing it because somebody did like a review and saying like, here's the original versus this. It's like, oh, is it the same game? Is it a different game now?
Definitely the same game. I think it's actually like the perfect way to do a remake because they smoothed out a lot of the rough edges, but they don't change enough to where it feels like you're playing something different. Mm-hmm. So if you liked Black Flag at all, but like back in Xbox One, PS4, or even 360, PS3, this is that again, but with a much higher fidelity, much better performance, and some of the rough edges, like combat, for example, is drastically smoothed out, which is really, really nice. I'm in love with it. I think that, and it's discounted too. Like it's not quite the same.
Yeah, I think it's $50, right?
Yeah, so it's definitely worth it. It's a meaty game. The ship combat
kind of reminds me of Oblivion, where they kind of gave it that new coat of paint, but it's a newer game.
Very good analogy. Actually, this is Oblivion remastered, but Black Flag. And I think that the thing that I've come to the conclusion of, because I always loved Black Flag, but I only played it once, and now I'm technically playing it 2 more times simultaneously. I think this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's not great, like in the top 5, right? Maybe not the top 10, but it's close. It's not like your member berries of like, oh, that's what it looked like or remember, because you're playing the old versions. You're like,
Wow, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, they just nail being a pirate, and I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I think that's one of the best trilogies of film ever. I think it might actually be the best trilogy ever, that or Lord of the Rings, and it's just so good. The other thing I'm playing, which I'm ashamed to admit, is League of Legends. There was a period of my life from like 2011 to like 13 where I didn't play consoles anymore. I only played League of Legends. And this is another misnomer. Like, I'm like the console player. I built my first gaming PC to play StarCraft and World of Warcraft in whenever StarCraft 2 came out, which is like a decade or 2 decades before Wally built his first PC. So I don't want to hear anything about PC gaming.
Eric, I was in South Korea in 2001. And there were cafes, and there were things all over the place. StarCraft, crazy, and cafes because nobody
was broadcasted on like TV in Korea.
It was crazy, and I remember friends talking about this game. I remember playing StarCraft, not being very good at it. I was not good at any of the like the Blizzard, like those type of games, but I appreciate what people got into it, the Zerg rushes, all that fun stuff. But yeah, League of Legends, I mean, that was like that's still around. Everybody else tried it. What was it? Heroes of the Storm tried it. A bunch of other tried it, but it was what's the other one? Steam Dota. Did it, or Valve did it with Dota. It's kind of crazy. It's still there. So I don't even know. I mean, you've gotten back into it. So how does it even work? I mean, in a way.
The reason why I got back into it right quick is they are since I was saying there was like a 2-year block of my life where I only played League of Legends, like hyper competitively, not like professionally, but yeah. And Riot announced they're doing a League of Legends Classic, which is like they're bringing back what it used to be like with like the old balancing.
Like WoW Classic, right?
Kind of the same idea. It's not replacing modern League, but it's like running simultaneously with it. And so I was like, that's awesome. I want to try this for the nostalgia berries.
Cool.
Before I do that, though, let me like play a couple games of League just to like shake the rust off and remember how to play. It's just like instantly. It's like going back to your old addiction. The game is so fun. It's kind of like I kind of compare it honestly to sports. Like, like in the NBA, you have like a center, a point guard, a shooting guard.
Yeah.
That's how your teams are set up. Like there's certain areas in the map where you play and there's different positions. And like, if you're a league player, you usually are playing a specific role, just like you would like in like football or in basketball. You'd be like, I want to be the top lane, which means I'm going to be like a tanky person, or I want to play in the mid lane, which means I'm going to be like more of a cast. Like there's like so many different champions to pick. And with Game Pass, you get them all unlocked for free. So I've been able to experiment with so many.
Thank you for that, Eric, adding cost to my Game Pass subscription.
It's just, the sad thing about League is like I could never convince anyone to play because you have to play like you have to suck for like 200 games. You have to get beat down for like 200 rounds before you start to be like acceptable. Maybe it's a lot, and I was playing it when I was like no kids. I worked at the movie theater. Like it was like I had no responsibilities, and so I was able to commit that time, and like I have muscle memory. I'm still like trash now, but it's really hard to get into seriously, especially if you're like coming into it now, because when I started playing there was like 40, 50, 60 champions. Now there's like 200. There's so many new things. It's I don't know. It's just if you're a competitive gamer, it just scratches that itch. It's such a high skill gap game.
It's such a reliance, right? That lanes and bases, you got attack and all that stuff. There's a series, I think. Have you seen that was I think it was Paramount Plus. It's called Gamers. It was basically like a esports like parody TV series.
I don't know if I've seen that. I remember the one on Apple TV.
Did you watch the one? What was it called? American Vandal. Did you ever see that?
Oh, that sounds. Yes,
it's that same team. They made a series called Gamers, and you should watch it because it is about that like esports thing. There's a game. It's kind of, but yeah, there's also Mythic Quest on Apple TV, which is more about like an EverQuest or World of Warcraft game. But I would recommend check out Gamers. I'll find a clip for it, Eric, and you can watch that because I think you'd appreciate more than me. I do like those people that created it because it's kind of funny because you see a lot of the esports focus, but it's from a comedic lens about, different teams and getting aged out and what can you do and getting sponsorships and all that crazy stuff. So it's kind of neat that this is still happening. Obviously, it's just a different dynamic that I think a lot of people, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like Roblox. It's a big thing, but nobody talks about it, right? In our realm. League is a big thing. Nobody talks about it.
Dude, the total prize pool for the championship they just had was $5 million.
That's crazy. It's huge internationally,
bigger,
right?
That's bigger than like Wimbledon. That's bigger than golf. That's big. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, because it's international. Everybody has a PC, has access to it, so it becomes like that level of like
free to play
accessibility, free to play. As long as you got a good connection, you can play find a group to play. It's open to everybody, so it's like that layer. It's like golf is hard to get into. Hockey is hard to get into because it's like equipment or rink, but it's like soccer, a ball in a net, or basketball, a ball in a net. So it really opens it up.
And
so
they sell out the Staples Center.
Oh, I know, because there's enough people
wild.
because it's like you've convinced people that like I don't like sports, but I like this because I've got teams I can root for. There's heroes and it's kind of crazy. And even like even things like Arcane, which I love, and the care they have of that series on Netflix. If that's so enough good to get people into that game and say, this is where they came from, or Riot's getting to other like versions. There's like 2KXO, which is a fighting game, and do
you play card games at all?
No,
okay,
no. I play Euchre, which is a Michigan card game, which is with regular cards. Yes, but no like CCGs or things like that. I have my limits as a person. Somebody even asked me like, hey, it was funny because even Sean was talking to me like, hey Todd, we should like make like little figurines for our fantasy football. I'm like, what about that? And like, that's like Warhammer and stuff. Maybe they paint the little guys and do that kind of stuff. It's like there's so many different eras, but yeah, Pokemon, Magic, all that stuff. It's crazy, Eric. That's if you know what you want to find a path that's even worse than video games, getting into those communities because those are crazy people. But I appreciate them.
Yeah, I'm not in that at all. I was talking about digital card games.
No. I tried Slay the Spire. I like that, but it was hard. Yeah. Totally. Okay, let's get into wild card, Eric. Not real cards, but I want to hit on one thing. Military Family Day happened this weekend. I sent you some pictures, Eric. It was so much fun. We went to the Vikings.
That looks
TCO
awesome.
Stadium. It was fun. It was for military families. Sadly, there weren't a lot of Vikings players there, but the Minnesota Wild, the Timberwolves, the Vikings, and they all contributed to this cool event for families of military members. They were there. You could play sports. You could get like little, you could get into raffle tickets for things like they're giving away a Wild jersey, a Vikings helmet, Timberwolves shoes, things like that. It was great. Kids got into it. They were giving away skates and sticks. Eric, I got a goalie stick. It's great.
Nice.
I got one. I don't know what I'm going to do with it because I'm not a goalie, but I'm probably going to give it away to friends. So, yeah, it was great. We had fun. I got to hang out with Victor, the Vikings mascot. It was amazing. Eric, they had some games of skill. So the Wild was there, and they had like this 9 panel like digital display, and I had to use my hockey skills, Eric. I had to get 9 of the panels in 30 seconds, and I almost got it, but I kept on launching the puck over. So it was bad. So I felt like I did okay. And then I tried it again. It got worse. So I'm like, I tried it. I was good, but yeah, I got to throw that on the football. The Minnesota Loons were there from their,
was Quinn Hughes there with his $17 million annually?
He was not. There was nobody of merit there to be there. It was fun though. We had a great time. I enjoyed myself. The Vikings museum was closed. I couldn't go into it, but it was a great time. Great facility, awesome. So I had a great time, Eric. And I got a football, and I was happy. I was on the field. I felt like a champion, and I got to see what their field was like. It was like that like artificial turf with like the little tire pieces. So I felt like a champion.
Did it feel like you could pull your ACL on that?
I almost did. I'm like, oh no. But we had a great time. It was very fun. Yeah. So very cool. So yourself, I see this term. I've looked it up. You've got younger children in your household. So tell me about Bendy.
Yes. So I don't know why. I don't know how I pulled this off. I always do this to my oldest. I just try to get her to play video games. And she doesn't play them that much. There's some games she really loves Bug Snacks. But for some reason, as a joke, because also I got her to watch me play Five Nights at Freddy's one time. And I really want her to watch the movie with me. No, she won't watch the movie because it's anyways. So then I was like,
looking cheese in Canada.
No, well, not in Nova Scotia. There might be one in like Niagara Falls. So
you don't have like a amusement center with animatronic animals.
Oh, I wish I'd be there every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a game called Bendy and the Ink Machine. I bought it
much merch for this game. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I bought it like I just went into GameStop like 10 years ago, and it was like $15, and apparently it was worth a lot more than that. So I just bought it.
Oh, okay.
And 10 years later, I was like, let's play this game because I thought it'd be funny if it was like a little bit scary because I don't think it would be like gory, but it might have. Anyways, she is obsessed. I beat the entire game. All the achievements almost, and then immediately we beat the second one. So there's this. I think this actually might be a
Bendy
different
3.
There's no Bendy 3, so I don't know what that guy.
Oh,
means.
this is fake. Oh my god!
This is the game. I just don't know what this is, unless Bendy 3 is like not on consoles yet. But yeah, I mean, effectively, like. In the first game, you just play somebody who's going to a animation studio because some weird stuff's happening. There's like this demonic ink machine, and like it kind of plays like a janky indie BioShock, maybe similar to that. You're collecting audio diaries, and the story's unfolding. What's funny though is how this ends up getting played. So I'm playing the game and she's sitting beside me with an iPad, right? And she's filming the screen with her hand in front of the iPad.
Oh no.
Like pretending to walk as me playing
funny.
Like there's and she's sending all these clips to her mom who's upstairs putting the other kid to sleep. So like if you sneak up behind an enemy, you do like this thing where you like grab their face and like suck the energy at whatever. And so like her little hand in the iPad, she's like, ugh, and then she adds like emojis, comments. It's cute. And we play through.
So this is like if Walt Disney made a weird, crazy, his creation was a killer.
Well, I don't want to spoil the story. It's not necessarily that, but it's basically you're not that far off. There is an ink demon. Who the bad guys are, it's up for interpretation, I think. But yeah, that's effectively it. You're sneaking around. This ink demon will show up out of nowhere. You have to hide from it, or he'll kill you. There's like characters and a story that plays out. You're collecting things and solving puzzles, and yeah, it's a
thing.
If you're into something like Five Nights at Freddy's meets BioShock, with a pretty unique art style, I would say. One thing that's actually really cool about this game, and if I ever make a game, I'm adding this to my game too, is when you beat it, you can go into this thing called archive mode, and they basically build this like museum, and in the museum they have all of the characters, like their rigs and their model, and you can walk up to them and it will give you like, this is like the character, and during development we originally had them look like this, but we changed it so that it could
commentary, right? Commentary mode.
It's not voiced, but yeah, effectively it's commentary. It's like little development notes of like how this character changed, and then in the sequel they have it as well. And they're like, in the sequel we wanted this character to show this type of progression, and so we added this feature and blah blah blah. And like every character's there, and you can go explore and like read about them, and it's really interesting tidbits on the development, which I thought was so cool. And yeah, if I ever make a game, this feature, I'm going to build something like that. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, there's a third one that's apparently like a top-down game called Lone Wolf. So that's probably going to be next up. I don't know if she'll like that as much because it's not first person, but I just thought I didn't mention them in the games I played. Those are 2 other games I completed this month with her. And I thought that was kind of weird because
I love that because it's having kids. Sometimes you get immersed to some things. It's like you hear about like the skibbity toilet and there's this and that and it's all this crazy stuff. It's like I'm so out of the loop. My son is not into that stuff anymore. We're talking about like, oh yeah, we're gonna play this and that, and like he's into more difficult games and things like that. But he also plays some crazy stuff too. So I'm like, why not? And I have a shared Steam library through friends and his friends and Sean, and it's amazing, kind of like the games that are in there. I'm like, oh, maybe I should give it a try, see what it's all this about. So it's growing. We grow through our kids, and sometimes we need to figure out what they're doing because it's kind of cool. So
it's
Eric,
apparently pretty big though. Like it's
there's like merch at like GameStop and all this stuff. I'm like, what is this thing? I'm like, I'm not sure what it is. So
I looked it up, and it's like closing in on like I think like close to $50 million in revenue.
That's impressive. Well, it's just like a lot of these other things. It's like they come out of nowhere and we're not playing them, but it's like they are big. So we're not always our demographic. Unfortunately, is not always the demographic that is driving like the most behavior and doing all these cool stuff. So you know what? Hey, we had our time, Eric, and let's let them have theirs. But also maybe we can kind of keep them on the straight and narrow with some like quality content, except for this friend slop. So that is it for what we've enjoyed this week. But next week, what are you looking forward to in the world of nerd?
Ooh, I didn't realize there's the world of nerd.
Well, no. And I say nerd. Sports nerds are a thing, Eric, because fantasy people that are like this, we're dorks because we get into. My wife's like, why do you care that much about all this news? I'm like, because we do. We're nerds. Yeah. We talk about things that don't matter for so many weeks, and then it happens. Like, I guess we were wrong.
So for me, on the 25th, I believe, of July, the rookies report to Jets training camp. I think the 28th, the veterans report in. And that's technically the end of the week next week, but this starts the cycle. I love football. I love my Jets, even though they hate me. This is actually going to be a very interesting offseason because we have 3 first-round picks and some really quality second-round picks, a rookie quarterback that we get to probably see play a bit in the preseason.
Who's that rookie quarterback, Eric?
Cade Klubnik.
All right. That's a name we'll be hearing more of, I assume.
I don't think he's got potential. I don't think he's going to play.
Okay.
I looked at pre-draft rankings for the draft before, like last year's draft, not this one with Fernando, and he was the number 1 rated quarterback at the end of last season, going into this season. And then he got hurt and things happened and blah, blah, blah. So he slipped and whatever.
Yep.
But it's just interesting. It's nice to have like a glimmer of hope at least. But there's a lot of good rookies. They had the 2nd overall pick. They had 2 offensive players they picked in the back half of the first round. So there's some things to look forward to. There's this like Twitter community that these people at Gangrene Nation made. Shout out to that, one of the OG Jets websites back when you used to go on forums before Reddit and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it basically takes the beat writers and it just like puts all their tweets together. So when they're at the training camps, all the beat writers are live tweeting like what's happening, and then you have this feed where all their tweets go in one place. And I'm just like addicted to that all throughout the summer, preseason games on DAZN, our Canadian.
Do you like get the? I was gonna say because I listen to K-Fan. That's my local. It's like my local station because we're Vikings, things like that. So do you have like your tunnel? I know you talked about being close to New York. I mean, you get your tunnel talk, your fan craziness.
We don't get it, but I watch it. It's called WFAN in New York, and it's like I don't get the broadcast, but they're pretty big because I mean New York is obviously really big, and so they actually broadcast their radio shows on YouTube as well as the radio. And then they also will take segments and like cut them into videos and then publish those on YouTube too. So I am very connected plugged into the New York sports radio as a random Canadian in Nova Scotia. There's been some insane things that have happened on that radio show. Like the show after Aaron Rodgers tore his ACL is one of the most legendary crash outs I've ever seen a human do. I still watch it like at least like once every like month or so. I'll send it
Good
to you.
reminder.
It's so good because these are like New Yorkers. They're like pure New Yorkers, and they are obsessed with the Jets.
These are the Howard Stern people that would call in to Howard Stern, and they're not reasonable.
They are angry. They are loud. They are, I mean, they deservedly so are angry because they have been suffering just like all the other Jets fans. Mm-hmm. And like it's probably the same with your radio station. These are not people that
we get paid. Wisconsinites that call in and they're Packers fans and they taunt us. Yeah.
I don't think the people in New England are brave enough to call it.
No, I don't think they are there. Yeah, we get a lot of Packers that come in and they get in secretively because we have like Tom Pelissero, who's a Vikings fan native, but he's an NFL reporter. We get a bunch of others that are secret Vikings fans, and it's just like the pain that we have as being Vikings fan, Eric. And in the Twin Cities, we have not had a champion in any professional sports league since 1991. We're sad.
I thought the Wild won.
No, Wild have never won. The last team to have won was the Minnesota Twins in 1991.
They got to the final, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad. Timberwolves, of course. We send Cat, they win. We send KG, he wins. So yeah, we're in a sad spot. So we're all in the same spot. There's a beer called One Before I Die. My dad passed away before my Vikings won. Hopefully, I will not suffer the same indecency. We'll go from there.
Minnesota Lynx, 4-time NBA, WNBA champs.
Correct. I will say men's, team, but yes, the Lynx are great. Our, the women's hockey league Frost, they won. They're showing men up quite a bit, which sucks that, the women are like, hey, this is how you do it. And
my
you guys
girlfriend's distant cousin plays for the Frost.
Nice. Yes, it's amazing. So, Eric, with that, you have been on the Waiver Wire Wizards this year. You're going to be a guest host on occasion. So we look forward to your Jets update, your take on it, and we're going to make some predictions when you are on as a guest. So we keep Sean honest, and we're going to document those, and we'll see where it goes.
We should do we should go back and watch some of the first episodes, and then reconcile his. Do
you want my battles with Sean over Caleb Williams?
I remember getting destroyed because I said I think that what's his name? I can't even remember his name anymore. That's how irrelevant he is to me right now. The Vikings QB was like Mark Sanchez. Turns out he's worse than Mark Sanchez.
JJ, yeah. I mean, well, yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, so we're looking forward to having you on as a special guest. Same with Chance. We'll go from there. And then it'll be a great season for myself. San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. We're very excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Marvel should be there. DC's going to be there in limited scope because they've. From their movies, success has been sucky, but probably Clayface and
did you watch
Lanterns to be good. I liked Supergirl, but I mean,
me too. I don't understand the hate.
I admire it.
It wasn't as good as Superman.
No.
But it was still good.
It was good. I love the comics based on, and I think, Eric, at this point, if you look at the history of female action heroes on film, there's just not a lot of people that go see them, sadly. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, Wonder Woman the first one did really well.
But if you look at like Ballerina and some other films, it's like, oh man.
I think she's going to be amazing when she gets to be included in like a Superman movie.
I hope so too. Yeah. I mean, even like I like Blue Beetle, that character in that movie.
He's apparently coming back.
Yes, he's coming back too. So I'm hoping that works well, and I'm very excited for Lanterns. So I'm a big DC fan, but I mean, I have struggled. I'm Green Lantern's my favorite DC character, and obviously that did not go well. So I'm hopeful it will go well, but I've enjoyed what I've watched so far. So
some of the DC animation stuff they've announced recently is nuts. So
I'm very excited. The Nightfall, where Batman gets brick. Oh god, so good. Yeah, so I like the fact that they cover those series, kind of like X-Men 97. I love what they're doing with those. I love X-Men 97. Oh, it's so good.
And didn't Gunn say that the animated stuff is still going to be like some of it will still be connected and something?
I think so. That's going to be hard to pull off, though. It is, Eric. But I've really enjoyed it. I've really loved Peacemaker.
Me too.
But from there, I just love San Diego, and the cool part about San Diego Comic-Con is I went in 2010, loved to pieces with my wife, but my friend Steven Chaskin is going to be there as a panelist. He writes the books, the pizza and taco books, and they're so much fun. Kids love them. It's just the goofiest things in the world, Eric. It's just like this pizza character, a taco character. They have fun things. They've got a horror movie, a horror book coming out, which is just goofy for kids. It's fun. I'm so excited for them to go. I love my wife is a children's author, and when I see them do amazing stuff. So Pizza and Taco is so much fun. They did I'll show a picture of here of what they do. It's great. If you got kids, definitely check out the series. It's so much fun. They do all the fun stuff. They are goofy. They're fun. They're Pizza and Taco, and they have a great time. So check out Pizza and Taco. They have they do a rock book. They have like horror films, and they even have a wrestling book where they go crazy and have fun. So I'm excited for San Diego Comic-Con. I hope everybody else too. But Eric, we are done for this week. Thank you, my friend. It's a long way to that Atlantic coast. You're up late, but I always love having you on. And this is the first time we got to talk about everything else but like video games and sports. So I'm glad we get to talk about all this stuff. So you're more than welcome to come back on future episodes if there's something you want to talk about. But I'm also wanting to have you on why we play and getting more about your video game history. So with that, Eric, tell people where they can follow all the cool stuff that you do online.
You can follow me over on YouTube at GamePositive YT. I also am going to be streaming more on Twitch soon, but I think there's a bit of a fiasco there. I tried to change my Twitch name. There's a typo in the name that it changed to. I couldn't change it again for 60 days. That timer's up. So I have to think of what I'm going to make my Twitch name. So I don't have anywhere to direct you, but I will be playing more games on there.
The Atlantic Jets fan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything better
It's already taken. There's so many of us.
Oh, no.
There's a lot that's happened in the video game industry over the last few weeks. I haven't been able to talk about it because I've been vacationing and then I've been sick. If you haven't noticed, I've been muting to cough my lungs out every 5 seconds on this podcast. Hopefully,
you're not part of the Canadian wildfires, right?
No, that's middle of Canada. I'm on the sides. Yeah. But you're also on fire. I hear.
It's been rough. We also have our own wildfires in Minnesota too.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I have to say about that, and I can't wait to get that off my chest because I've been holding it in. It's been making me angry. So hopefully I'll be able to get that episode out of the GamePositive podcast super soon. So tune in for that.
Excellent. Eric is one of the best guys out there. He's amazing. He's got very, measured thoughts. He loves things. He's passionate. And, the fact that he became a Jets fan living in the Atlantic part of Canada is just testament.
Horrible mistake.
His dedication to his convictions, regardless of his sanity. So thank you so much, Eric. Looking forward to have you on a couple episodes of Waiver Wire Wizards. We love your passion, your thought process on what the Jets are doing, but also across the league. So thank you so much. And I also want you to make some predictions with Sean and make some bets. That'd be great.
Will do.
Yes. Awesome. So with that, this is another episode of Best Thing This Week. If you want to follow me for my own stuff at Todd Oxtra, at T Oxtra on BlueSky and Instagram, but more importantly, check out everything on the Fandom Foundry on BlueSky and Instagram. We are also on YouTube, on Discord. We have we have a website, and we're on podcast services and on YouTube. And I've been doing some awesome episodes. We just released an episode with an awesome comic book artist on MakerCast. She talks about being part of the Kubert School of Art, being in the world of comics and making amazing art with cats and other animals. It's great. And we got another one coming up with some more children's authors and illustrators. More to come there. We're going to do more while we play, and we're going to have more fun in the world of fantasy sports when Waiver Wires Season 3 kicks off, I believe the last week of July, so we get you ready for your fantasy picks. So with that, I want to say thank you, everyone. And remember, folks, if this was not your best week, make next week your best week ever. Thank you, Eric, and everybody have a great week. Take care.